Hi Happy Crafters, how are you all? Thank you for joining me again, Toni in the Wakefield studio. I've just been viewing some of the lovely comments. You're all sat ready with a cup of tea. Hi Shirley, hi Karen, lovely to see you all again. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Toni Darroch. I'm a guest presenter over on Create and Craft, and I love anything to do with card making, ink, paints. As long as I've got a paintbrush, pen, pencil in my hand, I am a happy girl. If you're watching on Facebook, please don't forget to comment, give me the thumbs up, and if you are on YouTube, don't forget to click the subscribe button. The more viewers, the better. So before I go into today's technique or today's tutorial, I just wanted to let you all know that if you have been a winner of one of our cards that have been made in Live Studio, they have all been posted today, so fingers crossed you will get them before Christmas. As the course of the next so many days go on, there still will be winners and we will still post them out, but some of you may get them after Christmas now. So keep your eyes on the mail if you have been a lucky winner. So for today's demonstration, I wanted to do something really different, and it's now day 7, so we're on the countdown, should we say, and the last day is I'm going to do something quite awesome, something completely different. But until we get to that day, I'm trying to do different ideas for you, trying to give you different techniques on how to incorporate it on all the stuff you've got at home and just maybe spark that creativity again. So if you've lost your way a little bit, maybe one of the demonstrations over the course of the last 6 days, or even previous to that, we've got 100 videos on there now, which I'm super proud of. You know, just sit, get a cup of tea and just, you know, just watch them and maybe you might try something. So put your feet up, get a cup of tea and let's crack on. So for today's technique, I'm going to use a couple of things. So in this tutorial, I'm going to be using the diamond and the coordinating die. Probably you've already got it. If you haven't, you might have something in your stash that will work for this technique. So I'm going to be using this leaf out of the diamond, and I'm going to be using one of the diamond dies, which is a nesting die, which coordinates with that. I'm going to be using our circles of light, the rose. So for this one, I'm going to be using the rose head and the coordinating outline die. And for this one, we're just going to be using a couple of the sentiments out of this one. And the reason I've picked this one is because I needed sentiments that were all on one line and all in uppercase. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there. So I've got 5 to choose from. So this is the reason why I've got this stamp set, but you don't obviously have to buy this stamp set. You might have these sorts of sentiments at home within another company's stamps. So let's go ahead and try this amazing technique. So I've just got 2 pieces of cardstock here, a black one and a white one, and what we'll do is we'll go with for the black one first. We're going to create 2 cards, and because it's not as straightforward as I'd like it to be, it's got a bit of detail in there. I'm going to do it twice, so if you didn't grasp it the first time, then you might pick it up the second time. But please don't forget, there is always a pause, there is always a rewind. So if you're stuck, you can just rewind me and listen to me rant on how to do it. There is no, you know, there is no once it's gone, just click the rewind button. I'm sure my voice will do your head in at some point, but until that point, you know, there is that facility. So as I said, I'll just show you what I've done ahead of time, because I've cut a lot of the easy things to go straight to what we're going to do. So it's this stamp here. So what I did was I stamped this stamp, this one here, in a memento, because I've coloured the leaf with some alcohol markers, and you need to use memento for your alcohol markers, but I didn't want a true black, I wanted a grey. So this is the one I've used, grey flannel memento ink, and I've coloured pre going to air. I've done a whole host of them, so as you can see, and so you can see this is obviously this element in here. So I stamped it in the grey, die cut with the coordinating die, which is within the collection, this one, and then I coloured it with alcohol markers. So I just set that aside. So what I'm going to do is we're going to create like a little bit of a frame, but it's a bit of a cheat. So about a month ago, I saw a technique on, I think it was YouTube, and I bought something for that specific technique, and it came and I put it to one side, and I've been looking at it and I completely forgot the technique. And do you know when you buy something and you think to yourself, I bought that for a reason, but I've got no reason, no, I cannot remember why I bought it. And it was this product here. Oh, let's just get it the right way. Press and seal. And I'm thinking to myself, my goodness, why did I buy it? There'll have been a fantastic technique out there that made me buy this product. Not that I'm tight with my money in any fashion, but it must have been fabulous for me to actually go out and buy it. So I was looking at it, and for the life of me, could I find this technique using this product? Anyway, a couple of days ago it came back to me. Now I'm going to do the demonstration within this show now. So I can't give credit to who it was because I can't remember. And if I fail miserably, I do apologise to the lady that did actually the technique, but I'm going to give it a go from memory. So you might, as over the course of you doing your creativity and looking through YouTube, you might find the actual lady that did it and probably did it well. But I'm going to show you how I remember it, and hopefully it comes across well. So basically, press and seal is like a sticky wrap. Basically, it wraps your food things, so it's like cling film but not as cling film, and it's a bit sticky on the back. It's not very sticky, but it's sticky enough for this technique. So all I'm going to do, so that's the product, and if you haven't got this product you can use masking tape or masking sheets or something, but it has to be low tack, so maybe something like post-it notes, a large post-it note or something will probably work for this technique. I got that product from Amazon. I can't remember how much it was, but if you do like this technique and want to give it a go, that's where I got that one from. So I've just got this black piece of card here, and I've got all my embellishments pre-done before going to wear. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to place these in here, and I'm going to create a bit of a background. Nothing fancy, and I'm going to leave little gaps between each one. Like so. So I'll try and get them as close as I can. There is no right and wrong way. So I'm just placing them all on this piece of cardstock here. Just pop one in the centre there. So I'm not sticking anything down. I'm just absolutely playing here. Trying to get a bit of a formula going, should we say. So let's maybe go for this. So, creating my own unique background. So this is the important part of the technique really, so take your time with it, position them in the right place. I'm just going to move that one because that one's got a bit of shading in there. So these have just been coloured with Copic markers. I haven't done any light and shade or anything fancy, I've just done flat green. Swap this one round a little bit. And then when I'm happy I've got them all in position, not with too many large gaps, and I'll use the corner of that one on there, look. So just budge that up a little bit more. And when they're all in position and I'm happy, I think we'll go with that one. Just twist that one around a little bit more. Right, I think we'll go with that. So it's just a case of leaving gaps between, but not huge gaps. So I'm just going to push them in a little bit tighter. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of this sticky, should we say, and I'm just going to cut some off this sheet. I'm just going to pull it out. I'm just going to cut some from the sheet. Not a lot, just enough to cover my work. Just move this out of the way. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure, just carefully, it's not really sticky, so you will probably be able to take it back off if you wanted to. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay it over our work. like so, just go for it. And then when it's down, I'm just going to press it down, smooth it out. Now I can see one there has moved on top of the other, so I'm just going to move that down slightly. There we go. There we go. So when I'm happy it's all covered, like so, I'm just going to pick it up along with the piece of card underneath. I'm just going to turn it over. I'm just going to cut away the excess. So all the overhang from these lovely pre-cut elements here, I'm just going to cut away. So I'm just going to get some bigger scissors for this one. So it's just holding everything in place there, like so. And then I'm just going to go right up to the black. It doesn't matter if it's not very straight, although your elements could be as straight as possible. I'm just going to trim the excess off here. So I always cut from the back, twist it round. It's not, I think it's probably coming across on air as if this is really sticky, and it isn't. It's just got a slight bit of tack to it. So there, can you see that? Nothing fancy at the moment. So just move this out of the way. So what we're going to do while it's all just on there like so, just move that, is we're going to run one of our die cuts through. So just going to pop it onto our die cutting machine here. So you could use varying dies, you could use square, you could use a diamond, and that's the one that I'm going to use, the diamond, for this one. So I just grab the diamond one. So there's varying sizes in here, so let's just let's go for the second one and see what that one looks like. So we could go for that one, and I think we will. We'll go for it. So I'm just facing it placed down onto the artwork in the centre. Now I'm just going to hold it in place with a little bit of tape. I'm going to run this through a cutting machine. And then what we have, just remove that off there slowly. So there we have like our diamond centerpiece there, and then we have the outer frame here, okay? Just remove that carefully. Then all you're going to do, you're going to get your card blank. I've gone for a black top folding note card on this one. And you are just going to peel the back of the black card from this stick and seal. Just do it as carefully as you can. Place it face down onto your mat like so. Okay, so what we're going to do now, I hope this is making sense and I'm explaining it as well as possible. So here I'm going to put some pads behind here. So get plenty of pads behind, because you need to make sure that this is not going to sink. some big ones here as well. I'm just going to cut these ones up. And in some of the little areas, I really don't want it to dip, so I am just going to pop some into the little areas also. Just one more there maybe, and then one there. I keep saying one more, and I never stop. I really just want it to be sturdy, so you get the true effect of what I'm trying to show you. So then you just remove all your backs. And what I'm going to do is, to give myself a little bit of leeway when I come to stick this down, I am going to pop a bit of wet glue behind as well, just so I've got a bit of leeway. I've just got a bit of collal to hand here, so I'll just, I'm not going to put a lot on, but just a little bit of wiggle room, just in case I drop it down. So as you can see, that stick and seal has held everything in place for me. So I'm just going to pick it up, whoop, pick it up, and position it onto this black top folding note card. So the reason I did that glue is so I didn't have any leeway. Pop it down. Whoop. There we go. And then when you're happy it's in place, give it a good firm push. Make sure them pads are fully stuck down. And then when you're happy it's stuck down, you can remove your stick and seal, and it creates a beautiful 3D embellishment. You don't even have to be that careful with this, it really is not that sticky. So just make sure, be mindful that all your bits are stuck in place. You're not going to pull them up. Obviously I've put glue behind there, so it is still a little bit. It won't ruin your artwork, it won't pull your artwork off, because it isn't honestly that sticky. It's coming across as really sticky. I can feel it, like people are probably thinking, oh my goodness me. But honestly, it's really, really fabulous. And the look you get. That's still moving, so I'm just going to be careful with that one. Be careful. That's what happens when you put glue behind. Can you see there how, can I just show you from overhead? How you've got a frame from all your die cut elements there. This one just does not want to stick. That's because I haven't taken the backing off. It would help. So we'll just set that aside and we will come back to this one. So you can see the sort of formation of the die in there, but then you get your second piece here and you do the same here, so you get 2 cards for the price of 1. So I'm just going to remove the black piece from behind. Grab it best I can. There we go. And then when you peel it away, all the elements stick to your press and seal. Can we see there? So just pop some pads behind this one. I won't glue this one so we don't get the moving on them. I'm chopping them up into little pieces because I don't want to lose. You see these little elements here? These form part of your diamond. So if you lose those, you sort of like lose the shape. So it's a good idea to have varying shaped pads so you cover all areas. There we go, I think we'll just go with that one. And just remove all the pads from the back, make sure you remove them all. Just making sure I get them all uncovered because they will not stick as you saw in that other one. There we go. So I'm feeling the pressure a little bit, everybody's watching. But you guys at home, obviously you can take more time and care. So I've got this top fold in here. And then when you come to press this down, you will get the diamond shape. You see that there coming together? Then you just press it down, the pad should hold it in place. Then when you come to remove your press and seal from the top, you will have like a diamond shape with your die cut elements. Doesn't look like I've taken the back off that one. I'll just put this one in place and then you'll see the diamond. You see, oh, is that right? Yeah, that is right. Have faith in yourself. So you can see there how you've got a diamond, 3D diamond on the front of a card. Now we will come back to these and get some sentiments on them. So, I'm not convinced that's right. I don't know why. We will see. Anyway, so that is with leaves as a background. So what I'm going to do is, because it's quite a detailed technique, I'm going to show you again, but using different die cut elements. So there's two with leaves. We'll just set that aside. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to use the roses from the Circles of Light collection. I'm just going to use a piece of white card this time. So exactly the same concept. I'm going to cover the whole piece of this card, leaving no gaps. Let's see if we can get them closer together this time and see if you get a better effect. Now you at home, if you're not using the things I'm using, that's absolutely fine. Let's just change the colour. We don't want two colours together the same. Please let us know which has worked really, really well, what has worked, what hasn't worked. Because there will be ones that work really well, some that maybe don't work so well. Get them as close together as you can. Oh, that looks good there. We'll go with that one. So these are all in like a pastel shade. So just cut this one and get it on there. Make sure I'm in shot. Can we get... There we go, I think we'll just go with that. So try not to let them overlap. I mean, I don't think it'd be a great drama if it did overlap, but... So again, when I said to you earlier, trying to do things a little... So I'm just getting some more of the press and seal. Trying to do things a little bit differently, think outside of the box, think how you can use your products a little bit differently. I mean, these create beautiful 3D frames, which you wouldn't traditionally be able to do if they weren't in a plate die. So using your single stamp and die cords, create some beautiful frames. So again, I'm just going to place this on top. See how I just dropped that one just in case it decided to move. I'm just going to press it down, push it onto the artwork. Just hold it all in place for me. And then pick it all up. Turn it over. So this is exactly the same as what we did with our other one, if you remember. So let's see how this one turns out. So this one's quite a larger, so the other one was quite small, should we say. This one's got a larger image on there. So let's see what sort of effect we get with this one. So I'm just trimming the excess. Move that out of the way, turn it round. So while I'm just cutting this, tomorrow I am live Create and Craft in Peterborough. I am on at 8 o'clock in the morning. The time has been changed, so 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so if you want to see what's going on, just remember to tune in tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Click the record button if you think you're going to have a nice snooze or a little lay-in. So there we have our beautiful background. So for this one, I'm going to use a square. So again, it's down to preference. If you think this might be a little bit busy and not give you a true shape, try a circle or a square first and see how you get on. So I'm just going to pop it up here. Try and not get, what I've learned from that one, as we're all always learning, is try not to get lots of little elements within the frame, because you do lose them when you remove the die. So I'll just hold that in place there. So let's run this one through. Let's see what happens. Just remove that shape from there carefully. So you can see already we're getting 2 cards again for the price of 1. Okay, so what we're going to do, we will just grab a white top no folding note card for this one. I'm just going to turn it over, remove the back. If you can hear footprints, ladies and gentlemen, it is only my wee boy pottering around. So there we have our frame. So let's get some pads on the back of here. So I can instantly tell you, just from experience and learning now, live on air myself, I'm learning every day, that this larger one is lending itself way more to this technique. Just cut a little bit of that off. I think it must be the large open rose heads on there. It's just giving a better finish. So have a look what you've got in your stash. You might already have a large rose or coordinating. I mean, the circles of light have got large ones, haven't they? We've got the daisies. And as always, if you do like anything we use in studio, you can go and catch it all by going to our search engine box on our page and putting FBL Facebook Live in the search engine. So I'm just removing all the backing of the pads. Now you could double pad to give even more dimension, but it's basically the technique idea I want you to maybe try at home. If you double pad and it looks better, then that's brilliant. And if you do this technique, anybody, please show me. So I'm not going to glue like I did with the other because it was sliding, wasn't it? So I'm just going to go for it and hope that it doesn't just end up in a big pile. So I'm just going to pop it on here. When I'm happy it's in place, just press it down. Like so, and then I'm just going to remove. Absolutely fabulous, this product, and I bet there are way more techniques. you could do with it with regards to, you know, using your stamp and die outlines. Can we see that there? Just make sure that's stuck down. So we have our square. It's really a good technique. Patience is key with it though. If you're not the most patient person, I would probably say give this technique a miss, but the results can be truly amazing. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use a square from here. I'm going to take the back off this square. So as well, the great thing about this one is you get more cards, 2 cards for the price of 1. So So if I was doing this, obviously live, not on air, I would ensure that all the little pieces had a pad behind to give me the perfect square. So just bear that in mind if you are doing it yourself at home. Try and get all the elements in there, because it really does finish the card. Just going to get that little corner there. I would like that to be as part of the image. A little bit smaller. Then remove the backs off these ones. Make sure you feel that they're all off too. Yep. So for this one, let's pop this one on a black one. And then to take the, don't forget to take the plastic off. I'm just grabbing it carefully though, because this is a very delicate part of the image and I don't want to pull it off. There we go. So there you have your square in the centre. So you like get 2 cards for the price of 1. Can you see? Let's just get rid of that diamond. So you get a square out of one and straight into the other one. So let's just set that aside. So I've got these pieces of strips here, and the sentiments from the stamps that I showed you earlier was from this collection. So it's got some really long ones in here. So we'll go with You Are My Happy first. I've just got these offcuts that were just from the remnants of the cards. So what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to stamp them out, but on some of the areas where I feel like it doesn't sit very well, or there's a little missing piece or something like that, I'm going to hide it with a sentiment. So it's a great little bit of a cheat, really. So with this square one here, you can see I've lost a little bit here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to complete that square. Move it into shot so you can all see. Now you could pop it underneath if you wanted to. It's not showing on there at all because of the Eureka. Just move it out of the way. So you could pop it here, or you could pop it in the centre of your artwork, or minimalistic card, however you want. Let's just pop it underneath, because I think that looks quite nice. So that was the remnants from our big rose. So let's stamp within the big rose rather than pop that in. So that, set that aside. Pop this into our Eureka. Hold it in place, and we will go for one of the larger stamps from yesterday. So let's see if this fits within the window. Pick that one up. Might have to stamp this a few times. Make sure we're getting there. I'll do it one more time. I bet you're all thinking, thank goodness we've got a rewind button, because I'm not quite sure what happened there, because I'm thinking that myself. So what I'm going to do is just move that from there. I've got some gems here, some sparkly gems, and just to fill in some of the little voids where I've got some big gaps, I am just going to pop a little sparkle within the gaps. Nothing huge. I don't want to distract from the actual image itself, but I do want to give it a little bit of sparkle. Can you see that there? How cool is that? So you have like 2 cards for the price of one. That is so cool. Right, let's revisit our leaves. So I'm not sure. Let's have a look what we're going to do with these. So again, I'm just going to stamp another sentiment. And I think we will go for what's on the other one, just for speed. Pop a pad behind. So don't forget to pop a comment below. Which one's your favourite? Is it a technique you might try, or is it too messy, too fussy, too intricate? Please just pop a comment, because you know you can always be in with a chance to win one of our makes. So I'm just going to stick this in the centre here. So there you get your diamond one there. Look at the dimension on there. And then with this one, let's get a different one. just use this scrap from the centre of the other card. If it's big enough, it's not. So this one says, don't look for happiness, create it. I'll just trim this with my scissors for speed. It helps if it's straight. So I'll just pop some pads behind this one too. So you could literally do anything you wanted to with this one, and I'm just going to pop it, offset it. Yeah, I'm just going to offset it up here. And then I'm just going to pop some, this time I'm going to pop some black gems within. Fill those voids. So there we have, let's just move everything out of the way. So there we have 4 different cards using 2 different stamps and designs with a different technique really. I don't know what else to say other than from learning from that myself. I think the larger images lend themselves and better, but it's a technique you might want to try. It does give a great result, and if you've got the patience for it and you're not all fingers and thumbs, you'll make some really unique looking cards, and people will be saying, how have you done that? That's a stamp and a coordinating die, how have you done the frame? So it's a little bit of a cheat really. But if you've enjoyed it, let me know. If you haven't, still let me know. I am learning myself, but I'm back tomorrow. I'm on Create and Craft at 8 o'clock in the morning. I drive back and I'll be jumping live on air here at 4 o'clock again. And that's it. Let's hope tomorrow's technique is completely different again. Have a great evening, whatever you're doing, and I'll see you all later. Bye.